There should be higher expectations given how solid, how deep this core is and how young they are, but that's not the case because of past failures in the playoffs.
It's been 9 months since the Winnipeg Jets and the Calgary Flames took things outside for the 2019 Heritage Classic, but they are going to return to the ice for the play-in round of the playoffs. And joining me now to talk about that is Eric Francis. Eric, it seems like a lot longer than 9 months ago these two teams played outside, given everything that's gone on, but we're almost back to playoff action between these two. When you look at, from a Calgary Flames perspective, what is the biggest X factor, the thing that really needs to be good for them to get past the Winnipeg Jets?
Well, I think it starts with their top line, and I think probably every team in the playoffs could say that. But, in Calgary's case, last year in their playoff flop and their previous playoff flop, that top line, Johnny Gaudreau and Sean Monahan, and last year with Elias Lindholm was terrible. And they've admitted that, and they've discussed that so far in this training camp 2.0. And unless they're better, they will not have a chance against the firepower of the Winnipeg Jets. The Jets have a great goaltender, and they also have every bit as good a scoring as the Calgary Flames have. And all things being equal, if that top line, mostly Johnny Gaudreau, he had 1 assist last year in the playoffs against Colorado. That is clearly not enough. The whole line had 5 points total in a 5-game series against Colorado. They know they've got to be better. And it goes a lot further than that. There's a ton of pressure on them because if they don't get better and they don't prove that they can get going when the going gets really tough, then there will be sweeping changes here in Calgary in the offseason, and it will start probably with Johnny Gaudreau.
Well, we'll get to that in just a few moments, but first, you mentioned the Jets goaltending. Connor Hellebuyck, we know he's the guy. When you look at the Flames, just how much of a question mark is it between the pipes?
Well, I don't think it's a negative question mark. I think the big question mark is who's going to start. David Rittich was this team's MVP the first half of the season this year. He logged more games than anybody in the National Hockey League up until Christmas, and he was fantastic. However, as has been his case all 3 years in the NHL, he had a second half lull. However, that's when Cam Talbot, the veteran, really stepped up and was clearly their number one goaltender. Now, no one's taking any momentum into the playoffs. It'll be determined in training camp right now who the better goalie is or who the smarter choice to start is. I think it should be Cam Talbot because he's a veteran and has played 15 playoff games. David Rittich has played none, 0. However, he's their goaltender of the future, and I think that they feel, a lot of people in the organization feel it's time to finally find out what they have in David Rittich, if he is the real deal. He's the fan favorite here in Calgary. Either way, they're going to have to play every bit as good as Connor Hellebuyck. And the good news there is that if you compare Cam Talbot's numbers this year to Connor Hellebuyck's, they are almost identical outside of the wins and losses because Hellebuyck played a whole lot more games. But Talbot's save percentage and his goals against average are almost identical. Not a lot of separation there. I'm not sure who the Calgary Flames are going to start, but whoever it is, they better step up because the leash will be short in either case.
And you mentioned a few moments ago about potential off-season changes for the Calgary Flames unless this goes well. The Flames have been a team that have been very good on paper. They've shown a lot of promise, but have never really been able to get over that hump. Just what is the expectation? How much pressure is on the Flames to finally take that step that many people have expected them to take?
Well, the expectation is low in this city, to be honest, because this team, this franchise, has always struggled in the playoffs. Since 1989, they've got past the first round twice. That is absolutely abysmal. In their last 11 playoff games, they've won 1 game. And, all the usual suspects, that top line, are the ones that seem to disappear every time in the playoffs. So people in this city are very hesitant to get all excited and think that this team is ready to make a real run. Now, obviously, with the break, who knows what's going to happen. But if these guys don't rise to the occasion, and they're a notoriously slow-starting team too, so if they can't get out of the gate quickly and this thing crumbles, yes, there will be significant changes in the offseason. There should be higher expectations given how solid, how deep this core is and how young they are. But that's not the case because of past failures in the playoffs.
Well, Eric, I think there's high expectations from the Flames fans, from the Jets fans. It's an all-Canadian matchup, and it should be a fun one. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thanks, Sean.